Whoa. So about a week ago, I saw this post from Pluto Bean that he shared with his members on his YouTube channel. He shared a letter that he wrote to his inner child. Oh, this is a kaleidoscope. Take a look. Can you see? Hold on. I'm trying to reflect the light there. You can see it better now with the mirror. How cool is that? So he inspired me to write a letter to my inner child, and I want to share it with you guys. I'm going to post it down below. Then we're going to do a reading. Happy full moon in Aries. October 6th, 11:47 p.m. EST time at 14 degrees. I'm going to read this to you guys. And I'll post it down below, and I'll also put it in my community tab if you want to read it for yourself, and feel free to share your own letter. After I read his post, I stayed up for hours into the night writing this and just tweaking it and thinking deeply about that younger version of me. You're everything I wish you were and more. Letter to a younger me, inspired by Pluto Bean. Walking through my childhood door, opening the pricker drawer, kaleidoscope socks lead my feet to a place never seen, transcending younger me, and all of the things I would never dare be. Tapping the tips of trees in the cleft of the rock, holding me, hidden like Moses. You shall see my back, but my face shall not be seen. Exodus 33:23. The land of milk and honey, many feet beneath me, reaching monstrous lows, many leagues pressurized, swallowed by even darker seas. Like an iceberg never breached, so was I. The setting sun melting me down, whispering when no one was around, the golden ratio, 1.618, her inner workings transfixed and shining, translating the sacred tongue, slithering through the lips of the gods, the flickering roar of the holy angels, all of the things I would never dare say to myself, let alone anyone else. My worth was like a feather, but instead they weighed my bones. Caged in shackles, the sound of ancient metal clanking like choirs, harmonizing the prisoner's melody. Yet her glory still reverberates. Letter to a younger me. Cascading down the walls like water stitched between the hieroglyphs, a hidden phrase. And in a sudden spark of bravery, I read the words to younger me. You're everything I wish you were, and more. I'm sorry I never told you that before. Now I see it never mattered which mask we wore. The prying eye would always ask for more, and by design, our everything would never be enough. But to me, you are everything I wish you were, and more. Even then, even now, even when, I already know. You're everything I wish you were, and more. September 30th, 2025, 1:28 a.m. Transformation, celebration, letting go with this full moon in Aries. And Aries, that Mars, that deep suppressed rage and the feeling of being unseen is like the worst possible thing to an Aries archetype. Aries is the first house. Aries is the I am. It's all about the self, the ego. And many of us felt unseen when we were younger, or maybe for some of us, we had caregivers that were filled with rage or struggled with substances or were completely detached and void of emotion, betrayals and pain that we could be releasing during this full moon in Aries. You may find yourself inspired to write your own letter just like this, to come into communion with that part of yourself that was either unseen or was hurt or was told they weren't good enough, whether that was verbalized or implied, right? A lot can be said without a word, just with a glance. And some of us were dealing with people when we were younger that they didn't even have to say that we were not enough for them. It was just the way they looked at us or the way that they ignored us. Like maybe they didn't come to our performances at school or, made us feel like it was better to just go back in our shell. Or maybe for some of us, we learned how to overcompensate because that's what got the attention of our caregivers or our lovers or our friends. So we went the opposite direction and we started to wear a mask because we knew that that was what society wanted out of us, whatever it may be for you. We can use this full moon in Aries to release all of that rage, that pent up rage. Despite all my rage, I'm still just a rat in a cage. We don't need to go around carrying this resentment because rage pushed down, it can become resentment or depression that we forgot was even there, like a smolder, like lava bubbling that we just carry around. You don't have to carry all that. You can lighten your load. You can take time to introspect and connect with a younger version of you, and then release all of the bad stuff and keep all of the good stuff. Keep all of the things that you remembered. Forgotten inner child, now remembered. We see ourselves now. And those younger versions of us are everything we wish they were and more. Hello and welcome back to the Metamystic Show. It's Missy Gordon, the Metamystic here. Today we are reading on the full moon in Aries, again happening October 6th, October 7th for some, depending on where you live. But my time, EST, 11:47 p.m. on October 6th at 14 degrees. So if you want to see precisely where this full moon is impacting you, like if you don't have Aries in any of your big placements, like your sun, moon, rising, etc., you can take a look at your houses. So find where you have Aries, find which house you have Aries in, and the way you find your houses is through your rising sign. Your rising sign is your first house. So if you take a look at where you have Aries, like my house of Aries is in the 8th house. But actually, I don't go by whole sign astrology, and I'm not trying to confuse you if you're new. I like to go very precise because I'm a Virgo, Technically 14 degrees of Aries in my chart is in the 7th house. So this full moon is impacting my relationships. Just using it as an example, guys, to show you something, right? So find where you have 14 degrees of Aries in your chart. Find which house you have Aries, and that will be the area of life that it's impacting. And even more so if you're like an Aries sun or something like that, right? All right, so let's take a look here. We're going to get 3 cards. Forgotten inner child, now remembered. During this full moon in Aries, all of that old stuff coming up to remind us of who we really are. The sun coming out. This little child here being seen and acknowledged in the light of day like they deserve, right? All right. 5 of Cups at the bottom. We could also be experiencing some grief coming up at this time, especially if you participate in this sort of shadow work, looking back at your younger self, saying sorry to yourself, forgiving yourself for not being there for yourself, because maybe we were taught to abandon ourselves, right? Or to think down on ourselves. But now we can see ourselves as adults. Like we can look at the younger version of us and acknowledge that person and all of their greatness. 1, 2, and 3, because Aries is a sign of greatness. Aries is like the star of the show. And I always say that about Leo, but in this context, Aries being the first house and the self, I mean, this is like literally being the star of your own show. Some parts of us may want to shy away from our true identity, maybe because we're even afraid of our own power, right? Now, in the negative polarity of Aries, it can be kind of selfish and, can have rage and things like this with all that Mars, right? But there's nothing selfish about acknowledging your skills, what you have to offer, and taking a moment to respect yourself and to see yourself in a high regard. We have the Page of Swords with the Death card and the World at the bottom of the deck here. There's an opportunity for a transformation in the way you see yourself and putting to death that old cycle. I put out a reading. Oh, well, actually, I switched the order. I'm recording this before, but I have a reading coming out that is called Oh no, I already put it out. I'm sorry to confuse you. Okay. I put out a reading called like something about defeating that old devil or something like that. It was with the green background. My bad. But anyways, I'm seeing that coming up here with this world energy. This is like the Ouroboros, and of course with the death card, huge symbol of transformation. Huge. And that is what we have the potential for. We can move through those murky waters and detach once and for all. And here's Aries right here. We can detach once and for all with all of that powerful God of War energy that it takes to detach from some of these patterns, like in the mind, right? Because some of this stuff was from early childhood, and some of these things that, you know, we experience, they're cycles. Like they're things we've experienced multiple times. Maybe at first it was with a parent or a sibling, and then it turned into a friend when we were in school, and you know, somebody that we dated. Like these things can repeat, but I'm seeing an opportunity to release and to feel into. Don't be afraid to feel into rage at this time. You know, make sure you're not harming yourself or others, but feel that. Like if you need to feel some of that, Scorpio also, their home planet is Mars, right? So with Mars here multiple times and Pluto energy as well with the death card, that's some very powerful transformational energy. And we have multiple transits going on right now. I want to stick to the moons, but there's also multiple transits going on at this time with Scorpio. So we have a lot of Scorpio influence going on at this time as well. So you're going to be feeling heightened emotions if you feel into it. Like if stuff starts to rise up, if you're somebody who typically like represses emotions, this is our chance. And hi, I do that all the freaking time. Probably just because I have a lot of earth, right? But it's good to let yourself feel angry. If you have like a memory come up and you have like an image, I'm seeing and hearing someone like screaming in someone's face and there's like spit flying and everything. And obviously I'm not trying to trigger you guys, right? I'm just going to pop a trigger warning. Honk honk, hello everybody. It's TW, the trigger warning clown. Always nice to see you guys. Just my disclaimer that I'm not a doctor, but you know, and of course, don't do anything that would be harmful to yourself. But this is an opportunity to feel into your rage. I think it's healthy to have a little rage from time to time to release an emotion or two, right? What's wrong with that? What's wrong with feeling into what could be coming up at this time and then releasing it? Let it come out. Let yourself cry. Let yourself feel angry. Let yourself feel emotional, and write that letter to your inner child, or write down like an angry letter to the person that really hurt you, all the things that you wished that you could have said at the time but felt too traumatized to say. Write all that shit down and burn it, right? Or soak it in water and let the paper disintegrate, you know, like use whatever element you want, bury it in the backyard, like shred it up into all these little pieces and let it go to the wind, like whatever element resonates the most with you. Let there be some sort of a release here, because this is the opportunity for an end of a cycle and a transformation with the death card. And it's showing a hard stop with the death card, like the end of something. And then the with the world card, this is literally like closing the book. It's like this. Literally. It's like closing the book on that old past version of you that was never enough, right? Because we're everything that we wish we were and more. It's like we couldn't be any more amazing. Like, I'm so proud of all of the younger versions of us. And with the Page of Swords, we can acknowledge that and take a look at that and just be so proud of ourselves and everything we've accomplished. You may even want to write some things down in the positive, like all the things you've accomplished up until now. We just went through all of this big eclipse energy that could have brought stuff up to the surface, and we're coming off the back end of that, and that can be really intense. So stuff could have come up. We didn't really think that deeply about it, but now that the dust is settling a little bit, we can still work with that energy and think about how far we've come. It's not just about letting things go. With the full moon, I find that when they're coming up, it actually gives me a chance to observe what the things even are. Because sometimes I just feel all these deep, heavy, dark emotions, and I don't even know what I'm looking at or what I'm feeling. And they're not always negative. With that negative, intense emotion, there's usually a lot of positive attached to it as well. Because you guys are high vibrational. So there's always going to be light woven between that darkness. We had the sun coming out before. So let's take a look. Forgotten inner child remembered. Happy full moon in Aries. Card number 1 for the collective. The Two of Wands. I'm hearing from a place of release and the quiet that persists thereafter. Plans can then be made. I'm hearing, let the orchestration begin now. So it's looking like a time of release follows, and it goes really well with this Page of Swords. Can be writing, can be thinking about things, can be observing some sort of past plans that we maybe put on the back burner. I'm seeing somebody putting a book up in a shelf and they're taking that book out again, metaphorically speaking, and I'm seeing and all the dust is just flying in the air, and the sun is coming through the window, and you just see all the dust particles. It looks like snow. So that could also be a nod to Scorpio season coming through here, as we're going from the fall into the winter time. There could also be something regarding Scorpio season here, with this Aries to Scorpio, this full moon in Aries, we could be releasing things so that then after Libra season, we can work on some sort of plan in the Scorpio season, right? So I'm seeing timing like that for some here, that we can release, we can connect with that inner child, we can write some things down of how far we've come. We can possibly revisit some old plans that we had put aside, but these can also be new plans. I know that people talk about manifesting on the new moons, and I absolutely do. But sometimes, like I said, as stuff is coming up, it reminds me of what I want. So when I'm releasing things, I'm like, oh yeah, now I freaking remember. Now that I've cleared this out, I can actually see what the hell I'm even going for here. So you may get some ideas now that everything is clearing out, and this might happen days or even weeks after this full moon, guys, as we're moving into the new moon, right? But it all collides, right? That's why I work with the moons, because they're very intuitive. It's cyclical with the world card. It helps us connect to the actual power, which lies within the lunations and the planets and the movement of the seasons and the earth and the water and the air and the earth and the fire. Like, if you see a volcano erupting, are you going to put your hand up and try to stop that bad boy? Or are you going to run for your life, right? Like, there's nothing more powerful than the elements, right? My stomach just was like, bruh, on that. I'm very hungry right now, so let me take a sip of water. But yeah, this Two of Wands here is very curious. We'll clarify it. Remember to drink your water. All right. Card number 2 for the collective. 10 of Wands. See, this is a lot of heavy weight to be carrying. I mean, some here, again, I'm not a doctor. I already have my disclaimer, right? There's something about like the shoulders and the upper back here, and possibly even like the lower back, but it's like the shoulders, the weight on the shoulders. You could even have some issues there, like tension. And I'm seeing that there's something here about acknowledging all of the weight on your shoulders. Now, this can also be a positive thing too, guys, like all the things I do and all the things I am. And, because to me, the 10 of Wands is not only negative weight. Like the Emperor, you bet your bottom dollar the Emperor is going to feel the 10 of Wands. Like he has a lot on his plate. He does a lot every single day. He has a busy schedule, right? Like he's the freaking Emperor. So this is positive too, guys. This just shows that whatever like plans and aspirations that you have, like, yes, they may take a lot of work, but you are more than capable of doing it. There could also be some reinforcing going on here at this time, like positive affirmations. Like I said, writing things down, like plans, yes, but also like all the things you're good at. Like reinforce that stuff in your mind. Don't just release. I mean, you can do whatever the heck you want, right? But I try to remember to do this to myself. Like after something is released, then think about like all the things that I am to myself. I try to think of my positive qualities, right? And you're going to feel the weight of the world on your shoulders when you're making a difference, when you're someone out here helping people or helping yourself even, right? Like this shadow work is heavy, but it's worth doing because he's going somewhere with these wands, right? Even if he's just cleaning up the backyard, hell. He's taking care of his land. Like he's clearing the sticks from his backyard. But this is more than just that for many here. This is a heavy burden that you are having the opportunity to release here. Because this could be something that's coming up that you're observing. Past memories. Could even be like themes about a father or a masculine archetype in your life, or this could be like a boyfriend, a husband. It doesn't have to be a man here, guys. This could be just a kind of controlling energy that you feel breathes down your neck and is very like domineering. Like this can come through as a woman as well. But I'm seeing something about detaching from an archetype that tries to control you. Once and for all, it's kind of like this young Page of Swords is standing up to this big emperor. It's like the big bad wolf. Like this kid is marching into this guy's office and like telling him off and saying like, I quit. Like maybe for some of you, you're going to realize like I'm quitting this job, because this can be a boss too. You might decide you want to quit a job. Now think it through, because Aries can be an impulsive energy that brings us into a heightened state of emotion where we're just like, fuck this, I'm just gonna quit. I'm just gonna tell this asshole off. Which, I would argue there's a time for that. But if you're gonna quit a job, I would do it the right way. I would collect your thoughts. I'd give your 2 weeks, right? You don't want to burn bridges. Sometimes Aries can burn bridges and then they regret it later once they calm down. And they're like, oh shit, now I can't put that past job on my freaking. I can't put that on my resume. You know what I mean? And maybe you still can, because Aries can be charming. Like, if you calm down and you go back in and you say, I'm sorry, I had a temper back there. Thank you for the opportunity. You sometimes Aries can use their charm to fix the situation, right? But it's better not to go there to begin with. Some of you might be like breaking up with somebody. Like, there's a lot of transition energy here with the Death card, the 8 of Cups, and the 6 of Swords. Like, this is movement. You could have already been thinking about transitioning out of a relationship or a situation or a friendship or moving or something like that here, guys. You could have already been thinking about it in your mind, and now there's an opportunity to kind of emotionally detach further from something. Like, if you see that the writing is on the wall with something, there, those themes may be coming up now. You could be thinking about something that you realize or you will during this time that was very toxic. We have the Devil, the 5 of Pentacles, and the 7 of Swords. That's not a good energy. And now, of course, this could be old memories coming up as well from the past. This is kind of like the 2 of Wands. Sometimes I see him looking into a crystal ball. Like, he's looking at all of his memories. Like, sometimes he's looking at his future. Well, I would say mostly I see the 2 of Wands as a future card, as well as the 3 of Wands. But here I'm seeing him kind of looking into his past. This kind of looks like it's coming through as like a circular scrapbook, and he's like looking through all of his past memories and stuff with the Page of Swords. You might even find yourself looking through old pictures and stuff like that can help jog your memory. Like, if you're somebody that sits down and you're just like, I don't know how to do shadow work. I don't know what the hell to do. What am I supposed to do? Just sit here and like try to make myself cry or something? I would suggest meditating, and later in the week I have a whole episode coming out about literally about all about manifesting. We talk a lot about it. What did I title it? This is your land of milk and honey. I don't know, guys. I mixed up my readings this week. I realized that the full moon, I film ahead of time, so I realized the full moon was coming up. So anyways, I have an episode coming up on that at the end of the week, if you're curious about that, and helping to meditate and connect. And from that place, we can learn to manifest. But what I was going to say is, if you're having a hard time like releasing and knowing how to release, my suggestion, not to trigger yourself, but kind of like, this is the shit I do, so I'm just going to share it. I'll like look back at old pictures on my phone, or I'll close my eyes and I'll meditate. I'll put on like music that I'll put on like Phoebe Bridgers or something like that, and I'll just like get in the mood. Phoebe's definitely one of my favorite artists. I love her. But yeah, like, it's just kind of like a melancholic. It doesn't have to be like depression, guys. It can just kind of be, a meditative place. Like, and even better if you can put on music that reminds you of a certain time frame in your life. Like, back in, high school, maybe you listened to a certain artist a lot, or you possibly even have like a certain playlist or something from back then. If you put that on, I promise you so many memories are going to flood back, and it will be so visceral. music and especially scents as well, we remember that stuff more than the actual memories themselves. So even if you can eat like a certain food or bake something or get an old candle out or whatever that can trigger your memory, kind of set the tone. Like this is shadow work, guys. It is dark, right? It is dark stuff with the devil, the 5 of Pentacles, and the 7 of Swords. Like, I kind of put myself in a bit of a cocoon. Like, I'll set the stage. I'll put on my music, my candles. I'll get my journals out. Like, I'll get snuggled up with my blankets and everything and sit in my rocking chair and, might even like smoke a little something and get myself kind of in like a relaxed state and just feel into. I don't know if it's because I got a lot of earth or what, guys, but it takes me a minute to like get in touch with my feelings. Maybe you guys, and sometimes not, but maybe you guys are similar where you can't just like go there immediately. You might have to kind of bring yourself into that place so that you can release it. It's kind of like playing your own therapist. Like you're the therapist and you're like asking yourself questions. How does that make you feel? Can you remember a time in your life when you didn't feel that way? Thinking of positive things. Can you remember the first time that you started feeling that way? Oh, interesting. About 9 years old. Can you recall any specific memories from around that time frame that could have triggered that emotional response from you? Kind of thinking about those things, because some people like to journal, some people like to just feel. Everybody's different. So I kind of like to give options, right? But with that said, with this Aries full moon, you may not have to do any of that. You might just feel stuff coming up. You may feel upset. You may think about somebody who lied to you, somebody who made you feel insecure and bad about yourself, like somebody who is toxic. Like you might even have people coming around the block with rage and stuff at you because of this fiery climax of the Aries full moon. Right? So protect yourself as well, guys, because people that are not as aware and awake as you guys might not understand why they're having emotional reactions. So protect yourself as well at this time. Just try to focus on yourself. But with that said, this is an opportunity to release burdens at this time. Card number 3 for the collective, we have the Page of Pentacles. Very interesting. 2 pages here. And these pages are about learning and observation and research and study. I'm going to have to clarify this Page of Pentacles because that's interesting. I feel like these 2 things can relate. Like as you're in a time of releasing, now that we've cleared out the clutter, it's like, oh my God, all the stuff I want to do. Like I'm going to study that, or I'm going to plan that out. I'm going to make an investment. I'm going to start some sort of a journey. Like he's at the beginning of a journey. He's holding the Ace of Pentacles and he's about to go the distance, man. So you might start to realize like, I want to do something that I've been wanting to do for a while. I know it's going to take time. I know it's a journey. I might have to make a couple plans. Like, I know it's going to be a lot of work or it's going to take a lot of time with the 10 of Wands, but I'm willing to do that work. So let's clarify these boys and see. Go easy on yourself, guys, at this time with the 3 of Swords. Because, we have these cards on the table, but if you're in the 3 of Swords, you're not going to be like thinking about future plans. This is kind of showing the future on the table. Like everything I channeled leading up to these cards was the shadow work element, looking at this stuff, writing the letter if you so choose to your inner child. These cards can literally be showing you writing something down or you learning something. Like maybe you're going to realize oh my God, maybe I have like a certain attachment style or something because my ex like made me walk on pins and needles with the devil. Like they were very controlling, for example. Like they could have threatened you or lied or whatever or stole. So maybe now, like maybe they stole a part of you or made you feel insecure and you feel like that part of you is left back with them. You can get that back. You can reclaim it. Yes, this moon is about releasing, but Aries will get their shit back. Aries is a big energy. You know, I'm talking metaphorically, guys. Like you can go back in those memories and take your self-worth back. If someone cheated on you, if someone hurt you, if someone was controlling, if someone was abusive, God forbid, then you can use this Aries passion and power and reclaim that part of yourself. Stand up for that inner child. And this could be an inner teenager. This could be an inner adult. Like this could be something from 3 years ago that it's like you're remembering and you're like, you know what? I'm going to stand up for that version of me from 3 years ago that was too traumatized to stand up for themselves. I'm going to stand up for myself now and say, fuck you. You know what I'm saying? Like that's Aries, right? And an Aries will tell you fuck you right to your face. So, but you don't have to say it to anybody's face. You can just reclaim that version of you that maybe you didn't say, maybe you didn't stand up for yourself, or maybe you felt bulldozed by somebody, or you felt insecure or hurt. You could start to realize like, maybe I can like watch some YouTube videos on that and like actually heal this once and for all. Like release it and then begin to work on a certain aspect. Like these two cards together, to me, this is like pinpoint studying. This can be like researching a specific topic. Page of Swords, Page of Pentacles. This could be like attachment styles. You could even take a quiz, like what's my attachment style? You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't have to be that, guys. I'm just using that as an example. Like you could do a little research on that, watch a couple YouTube videos, whatever, and actually heal this damn thing once and for all, because you realize this stuff keeps coming up. So instead of just suppressing it and carrying this burden around with us for the rest of our lives, we can actually release it. And sometimes we do have to take a little time and actually like put that energy into ourselves. Like the forgotten inner child is being remembered through this sort of a process. And I don't even think you have to pay for anything, guys. Like, you know, I would recommend just doing your own research. And of course, if you eventually feel like, oh, maybe I'll like go to this person's seminar, or I want to get some therapy in my area, then by all means. But I'm seeing something like that here, but it might not be emotional healing. Like this could also just be, you might find yourself feeling good because you released some old garbage here. And then all of a sudden you're like, hell, I'm going to get to work on some plans. I'm feeling energized. I'm feeling excited. I'm going to start some new venture here with the Page of Pentacles. That's the cool stuff that can happen, especially after the eclipses. But yeah, for sure there'll be emotional stuff coming up with this Aries energy with the Emperor. So let's clarify these. 2 of Wands, 10 of Wands, Page of Pentacles. Forgotten inner child now remembered. Yeah, with the Ace of Wands popping out here. You're going to have memories coming through. Yeah, 2 of Wands. That could be part of this too, that you're having those memories coming up. And the Page of Pentacles, this can be something tangible. Like I said, you could be looking through photographs, for an example there. Or old items. Like you might find yourself thinking like, should I keep my ex's old sweatshirt or should I burn it? Well, You asked the question, not me, right? Okay. 2 of Wands, 10 of Wands, Page of Pentacles. With the Tower at the bottom. Yep, there's that Mars. Just showing up to say hello. Again, it's not always pretty. You guys might feel like rage rising up, right? Let yourself feel that stuff, guys. That's healing too. Like, people don't talk about that all the time. Like, rage is a form of healing by letting yourself feel into that darker stuff with the Devil. 1, 2, and 3. So we have the Devil at the bottom with the Lovers and the Death card, and the Chariot with the 5 of Cups, and the 8 of Cups with Judgment. It's a big underlying energy here. And it's all just repeating that same sort of energy with Pluto, Scorpio. We have the Devil here, like purging toxicity. Could be in a past love situation with the Lovers, could even be like a friendship, a sibling, etc. With the Chariot here, with the 5 of Cups and the 8 of Cups, this is like moving through grief and detaching. Possibly with the 4th house themes of Cancer, with the Chariot, detaching from family, detaching from someone you have a family with that you've deemed toxic, etc. Like, some of you could even be like breaking up with somebody, or weirdly, like, exes could be coming back around at this time to be like, hey, like, I was thinking about all the like toxic past that we used to have, and I thought we should give it another try. I don't know, guys. Full moon in Aries might not be the best time to reconnect, if you know what I'm saying. Because emotions are high, and Aries can also be, a lot of sexual energy there too. Now, do what you want, but I'm just saying. Because I just opened up to the Wheel of Fortune, so there could be karmics coming back around at this time, and they don't have to all be romantic, but there could be like toxic people coming around the bend to be like, let's make this work with the Lovers. But you ended that for a reason. Like, you transformed already who this part of the message is applying to from some past situation. You've already transformed. You've already become like a new version of yourself. So I feel like you will have an aversion to whatever this is. There could even be weird like temptations coming up at this time, guys. Like, you could be tempted to like drink if you don't drink, or just weird shit that you... With the Devil, there could be old vices coming up, but that could partially be because your body's trying to purge this old bullshit. So there could be certain substances or toxic traits or behaviors that are tying us, like attachments, to old people or situations, and that's actually what we're feeling coming up. But if we're not conscious to all of that, and it's hidden from us what we're feeling, that's why it's so good to be aware and do shadow work and feel into this stuff, in my opinion, so that we're not just like, where is this coming from? It's like, oh, it's the full moon in Aries. Of course, I'm feeling all this shit coming up. Like, it makes sense when we stay in tune with ourselves in general, but especially when we bring in, the moons and even just intuitive stuff like tarot readings. Like, we're taking a look at any potential like hidden pitfalls or stuff we have to look at to heal ourselves, etc. So let's look at these clarifications. Clarifying the 2 of Wands, we have the 4 of Cups. You could have like an old plan. Remember, I talked about putting that book up in the shelf, metaphorically speaking. You could have felt like you missed an opportunity in the past to do something or to enact some sort of a plan that could be coming around again. And this full moon could be helping you release some sort of like disappointment, whether it be that you were disappointed in yourself or whether it be that you felt disappointed that you missed some sort of an opportunity, or you feel like, oh, now I'm too old for that. I should have done that when I was younger, or I wish I did this, or I missed that opportunity. Like, we can be releasing all of that shit. We can start again at any time, guys. Right? Like, there's so many stories of people starting things later in life. So many. So many. So like there's nothing, you're never late to the party. You're fashionably late, right? It's more fabulous that way anyways. Four of Cups here. I feel like that could just be you had something, you had some sort of a plan, it was disappointing to you. This could even be like you had a plan to like marry somebody with the Lovers, or you thought something was going to go the distance and then it just like died out. Like it but that's because for some of you I'm hearing that's because that was a karmic. It wasn't meant to work, right? But something is being transformed. I'm seeing this transformational energy happening in this reading. It's simultaneous. It's letting go, but it's also like a reinvention happening. There's something about a reinvention here, or a revamping of an old plan or an old version of things, like possibly when you were younger with the Page of Pentacles, or something you were studying, or this can even be something practical with these two pages, with the Page of Swords and the Page of Pentacles, like paperwork, or, legitimizing a business, or, whatever this is for everybody. For some of you, I'm hearing like you might think about getting a divorce here with the Five of Swords. Like you could be thinking things like this is just getting too heavy for me. It's too toxic. So some of you could be thinking about ending things here as well with somebody. And in terms of signs, we have Gemini, Capricorn, Scorpio, Cancer with Pluto. All right. Clarifying my nose is itching so bad. So it's confirmation for somebody. Clarifying the 10 of Wands, we have the Hierophant. Yeah, for some of you, this is definitely a relationship thing. Some of you could feel like relationships always just end up being a burden. I'm hearing something about liberation, and I'm seeing a bunch of birds flying into the sky, like a flock of birds, and the sound of the feathers and the sound of the birds, and there's like 100 birds. When I feel relief as I'm saying that, it's like all of these wands, they just turn into birds, and they fly away. Like Spirit wants, this is a message for somebody specific. If you are looking for love, or you're in a discouraging relationship that doesn't offer you love, let's just cut to the chase, the love you want, and you feel like relationships have only added burden to your plate, this is a message to you from Spirit. That's not how it has to be. Spirit has somebody for you. We do have Taurus energy here. Again, we have Scorpio, Cancer, Capricorn, and Gemini in terms of signs. If this is like an actual person and not just a concept, could be you or them. You don't need to be with people that need you for something. Like, you already have enough on your plate without somebody. That's what I'm getting. Like, even if you're with somebody right now, Spirit has this message for you that I'm hearing this specifically. They have someone for you that's actually going to change your beliefs about marriage. I'm getting those words specifically, which is fucking crazy, right? And it might not just be marriage, guys. The Hierophant can be commitment, right? But some of us are a little more alternative out here, right? Where, maybe we come from broken homes or abusive homes, or, just like we think about marriage as like bondage as opposed to like liberation. But I'm seeing something about, again, very specific, they have a person for you that will liberate you. That will liberate you. That will help you to release burdens, like those birds flying into the sky. A lot of bird imagery here, like coming through. Yeah, I feel a big weight off my chest on that, guys. Also, looking at the word hierophant, this weird thing happens to me sometimes. I'll look at a word and I'll like mix the letters around, and it's like I'm seeing it as elephant somehow here. And elephants, to me, they collect ancient knowledge. Let me just pick one of these. Elephants, they collect ancient, or they hold a lot of information. To me, elephants are connected to like the Akashic records. So what I'm seeing here for some is that you could have some sort of like elephant connection with somebody here, where this is somebody that you've known in previous times in different forms, I'm hearing, that will help relieve burdens. I just felt drawn to get a little something from this deck here on that topic. What do you have to say about that elephant message? Jug. Look what it says. Can you read that? Light-hearted, carefree time. That's literally like the release of burdens. Like there's something carefree here. And at the bottom of the deck, we have Valley. Deep personal strength and peace that assures success. Wow. Ear. Good news. So yeah, that's definitely for somebody. All right. And for others, you could be leaving a situation with broken ring here. What does it say? Parting of the ways in either romance or business. I feel like some of you are leaving a situation, or you're thinking about that as these emotions are coming up, and this rage for some of us coming up at this time. We also have shield. You need to defend yourself with scissors, which to me is like cutting the cord to something or someone. So, all right, that's on the relationship sector. Let's move to this Page of Pentacles. Clarifying the Page of Pentacles, we have the Three of Swords. So this Page of Pentacles, I'm going to ask one more question on that, but this brings me back to what I was talking about with like attachment styles and stuff like that. Like you could be doing some research or learning like literally practical stuff with the Page of Pentacles, like watching videos, taking even like I'm seeing people taking a quiz, and it doesn't have to be attachment styles, guys. This could just be like trying to figure out like, why do I feel like this in my marriage or in my relationship? Like you will find answers online. Like you can even ask ChatGPT, but I like to do, multiple forms of research being a Virgo, right? And like boomerang back and forth between them. But you just may find certain things coming up. You may even buy like a book that helps you process through. Like I'm seeing someone wearing glasses sitting in their bed at night reading a book that's helping you to expel all of this negative stuff. Like this is what this Page of Pentacles is saying to me. This is the beginning of an emotional journey of letting go, like letting go of old stuff, inner child stuff with these children here. Because this can definitely be reading, writing. Like you might even get some sort of a book that has like journaling prompts. I'm seeing that. But let me just ask one more thing on this Page of Pence, just to close out the reading here. I just opened up to horse and it says short journey. So guys, if you're like overwhelmed thinking this is going to take you 5 years to like work through this stuff, I'm seeing it showing like it's not going to take very long, guys. Like if stuff comes up during this full moon and it makes you realize like I'm going to read this book or I'm going to listen to this podcast or I'm going to watch these videos on a specific topic, if you decide to go with that and continue that journey after the full moon, I'm seeing you will have success and it's not going to take as long as you think it will. I'm hearing less than a year for some. I'm seeing 6 months. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. I might take that advice myself because I'll see what comes up for me specifically, and I'll share it with you guys if if it comes up, right? All right, so Page of Pentacles with the 3 of Swords, please. Any other information for the collective on that? Yeah, 5 of Pentacles. So this could be stuff that really impacted you guys. Like for some, you could have dealt with an ex that like cheated and had a third party on you, or this is like mean friends or groups of people that just really hurt your heart. For some, this could even be something like you were so excited to share some sort of like amazing plan. Like you're a very intuitive person with the King of Cups. You're very like emotionally in tune. Like you're in reality. You know what you're talking about. Basically, you could have shared an idea with a group with the 2 of Wands twice here. You could have shared an idea. Yeah, look. With the High Priestess, you're very intuitive. I mean, you could even be a reader. You could be you're somebody that knows what you're talking about. You could have even had a dream. You could have had a vision that seemed like a daydream, but it was not a daydream. It was not just like a passing thought. This was a vision from God. I'm hearing that for somebody. Yeah. This was a vision, 2 of Wands with the High Priestess from God given to you. You could have possibly shared this with a group, and I'm hearing something about they discouraged you from moving forward on something. Or it was just even like they didn't. It's like the way it was received. Like you received something and it was like mind blowing. Or you created something that you thought was so good. And it's like the response you got was underwhelming or something. And themes of ego can come up with Aries. And I'm not saying ego in a negative way, guys. I'm saying like themes of the self. Like this is a wounded ego thing where you could have thought something was awesome and a group was just like didn't really respond like you thought or something. And this threw off your plans. This threw off your footwork. This threw off something with the 2 of Wands. It's coming back around again. I'm hearing Santa is coming to town, so there could be something happening. What did I say before? There was something about Scorpio season. Yeah. Right? So around Scorpio season, you could have some sort of old idea come back around the mountain again. You're going to have another opportunity to begin a journey of an idea for who that's for. But again, with the Page of Pentacles and the 3 of Swords and the 5 of Pentacles, this is like old wounds. And I'm seeing them being unearthed, guys. So this is like older shit that I'm seeing it like stuff behind the old shed in the backyard and everything's overgrown. I'm seeing like some old like tools back there. Like I'm seeing a shovel. It's like all this stuff is overgrown back there. There's like a bunch of leaves. Like you can't even see what's back there. It's like Spirit could literally have you clean out like an old shed or a garage. That could be an analogy, right? But it could be literal where you suddenly have inspiration, because we're in Libra season, right? Libra is all about like beauty and home and art and you might suddenly feel like, oh, I'm gonna like clean that old shed out before it gets too cold. Maybe you're not from a cold climate like me, but just a thought like that, like, oh. And then once you go back there, you might start crying, like thinking about some crazy memory with your dad, like when you were a kid or something like that, and realize like, oh my God, I'm gonna do that now. Like I was 17 back then, but I could do it so much better now. Like I have power now that I didn't have. It's like something even unrelated like that. Like you're cleaning something and then you have a memory, or this could all just be a metaphor for for some sort of like emotional journey here that you're going on. And with the Emperor number 4, this could very well be the start of some sort of amazing, like this could be a business opportunity. This could even be like a person. Like you could start like an emotional journey and then you like meet your emperor, or whoever you're interested in, right? But yeah, it's like this stuff all connects. That's why I love to move with the lunar cycles, guys. Manifest with the new ones, release with the full, because if we just move with that, we will get so much done in a year. It's fucking crazy, dude. Like the stuff we can get done in a year. Our entire belief system can change in a fucking year if we just move with. It's like the feelings of the planet. Like use that stuff. Don't fight against it. Don't be like, I don't want to feel this shit. It's like we might as well just let the wave hit us, man, and just go with the wave. You're gonna get more hurt if you try to avoid the wave than if you like roll into the wave, right? I remember when I was a kid, there was this really, really big wave and I got taken under the wave and it was scary. I still love the ocean though. Oh, how do you guys like the new background? I mention it in my video, in my upcoming reading. Again, I switch these around, but I have my blue eyeshadow on when I like introduce this background, but whatever. I wanted this video to come out. I wanted you guys to have this full moon and Aries reading like on the day, so I just switched her up, right? All right, everybody. I love ya. Happy full moon in Aries. I will post my letter down below as well as in my community tab. Feel free to add any thoughts as well as your own letters to your inner child with the sun on that, if you so choose. Yes, very inspirational, very inspiring to do my own letter to my inner child after I read Pluto's. So head on over to his channel, show him some love, join members over there if you want to read his letter to his inner child. And much love to everyone. If you would like to listen to today's episode or any of our previous ones, you can always listen to The Metamystic Show on Spotify and Apple Podcasts every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 9 a.m. EST. If you're looking to book a reading, just send me an email, let me know, and I'd be glad to book a reading for you guys. I love to read for you. It's always a fun time. I love to connect with you guys. So feel free to come by at any time, and we can set one up for you. And thank you to everybody who supports the show by donating. I deeply appreciate it, you guys. Thank you so, so much. And yeah, I feel release. I feel like release already happening leading up to this new moon. I'm filming this a few days before, and I'm feeling it. Can you feel it, Mr. Krabs? All right. I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next one. How cool is this freaking kaleidoscope, though, dude? I wish you could see it more. I don't know why the freaking eye hole is so small. Yes, how fucking cool is that, bro? Look at that shit. It's hard to see. Okay, there. Yes, perfect. Yeah. I can't turn it and hold this at the same time, sorry, but yes. I got this just for this video because in this, I was like, that's a cool idea. Kaleidoscope socks. Like, I was just picturing my younger self wearing like these crazy colored socks like I used to. I used to have all these like wild socks. Kaleidoscope socks lead my feet to a place never seen, transcending younger me and all the things I would never dare be.